very easily we can think using the counter instruction to program the toggle switch logic. Right? Underneath the instruction set, Rockwell put timer and counter together as a one group. So the first three instructions are for timers, right? Obviously, we cannot use the timer to solve the toggle switch problem, right? Uh, by the way, timer instruction has a more complicated application. I have a separate playlist. I will put the link underneath. You can watch them if you're interested. So uh, the rest of the two instructions, CTU and CTD, are for the counters. So again, Rockwell put them together as one group because they have a very similar tag structure. Right? So they are different type, right? They call timer and counter, but the structure and the members within the structure are very similar. So that's why. The other reason, right? RES. You can see here the reset instruction. Uh, you can use both on the timer and counter, right? So shared by both. Actually, if you remember, the uh, control structure is also reset by the RES instruction. I think they should mention let's have a look, right? So yeah, that's right. You can see RES instruction resets a timer, counter, or control structure, right? So that's the three data type tag that can be reset by one RES instruction. All right. So I put together all the related information of counters into this slide. So you can see here normally we can use counter in two different operations, either count up or count down. So in this situation, if you have a part presence sensor, then you can use that to trigger the count up. So then you can count how many parts, right? So of course this uh, parts has the data type of counter, right? So like right now you can see the the setup as full, right? So we're going to count how, like four parts into a box or something like that. The next one is called accumulate, right? Accumulate value. So you may have a question that so if the sensor gonna be turned on for obviously longer time than the PLC scan, will that trigger the counter more than once? So it will cause the false count for that. That means do we need to add a one shot in between here? Uh, in the moment in the demo we'll look at it. Right. So this is one thing we will solve with this video to have a look at it. So like I said, right, if you want to count down, so for example this power presence sensor is like you are rejecting some parts, right, or you try to retract some of the parts, right? So you can use this to operate on the same counter, right? So if we look at the data type of counter, it has two double integer members. One is called preset, the other one is called accumulated value. Then they have a different control bits. CU count up, CD count down. So when the count up is working, then CU will be energized, right? If you use CTD, CD will be energized. Right? Done is that when the ACC greater or equals preset, then those they are called the overflow, underflow, right? So normally that when you have the accumulate value is too big to hold into the double integer tag, right? Because it has a double integer. But remember we talked about before, double integer has the from minus 2 billion, more than 2 billion to positive 2 billion, right? That range is very wide right now because we have 32 bits, right? So normally these two rarely happen, right? But they are still here. They were designed before by the controller of the 18 bits, or maybe sometimes even the older one 8 bits, right? So that's easily overflow or underflow, right? So that's the members of the tag structure. Then when you reset res, you can just put the tag with the res. So when the res executed, it will reset the counter structure. That means the ACC value will be cleared to 0. So the accumulate go back to 0, and all the control bits will be reset. We'll look at that application in the program. All right. So let me remember we talk about the one. Do we need a one shot or not? Right. So this is one thing we can test. So right now you can see the method is 0 is calling the sandbox. Sandbox is here. With sandbox, I only have one push button to count up, right? Count up with the tag CNT1 as a counter. So the preset is 2. Right now, accumulate is 0. So I'm gonna press the button and hold it for longer time. So now you can see even I'm holding the button, right? It only count once, right? So that means we don't need a one shot, right? The counter instruction has a built-in one shot function. It only look at the transition, right? So that's why I'm holding the button. The accumulated value is not increasing, right? And in the same time, you can see on the right hand side, the CU is being highlighted, count up. That's the bit, control bit. When I release, it's gone, right? So that's here. So right now you can see it count as 1. So when I press again, that's gonna increase to 2. When that happens, right, accumulated value equal or greater than preset, the counter is done. Then you should see the done bit turn on. All right. So I'm going to press and hold. You can see the CU and done bit both are highlighted by green, right? So it's done. When I release, it stays here on 2, right? So this time I'm going to press very briefly, right? You can see 3 and 4. It will keep going, right? So if I remember correctly, this is different from Siemens PLC counter instruction. In Siemens, I don't think they count up once get to the done bit, get to the preset. It will be capped into the value of 2. But Rockwell did differently. They allow the accumulate keep going, but you can check the done bit, right? So same thing for the Siemens PLC. They have also done bit. So it will tell you, okay, your accumulate already reached to the preset. The counter is done, right? Of course, you can also directly read the value of this double integer, right? So that's what we're gonna use that to solve the toggle switch, because the so if I'm going to change that, all right. So I'm gonna use the counter to do the toggle switch, all right. So you can see the method is 14, all right. So I'm going to show you the solution, but let's try the function first, right? If we press, the pilot light is on, release stays on, press again and release, it didn't, right? So I don't know, there's maybe something wrong. Then let's have a look. So right now method is 14. Alright, so that's going to 14 here. 14 is calling routine 14 counter, right? Let's have a look at here. So right now there's something wrong in the logic, but you can see the design, right? Similar to what we have on here. We use a push button to trigger the count up. Like I said, right, you can use the equal, right, which is double integer instruction. Use the .acc, right, directly get this number and into the uh, instruction. Then when that equals 1, that means you already press once, right? And then you energize pilot light. That's right. That's a very good thinking, right? When it's done, we want the reset back to 0 to keep using that, right? So that's a very good thinking. And then that's what happened. It didn't work, right? It doesn't work. And then notice here, it stays here. It never reset to 0, right? So what was wrong, right? So now let's have a look at the comments, all right? So when trigger is true, and if you so like when you reset the counter while the trigger is true, the counter will have a transition at the trigger, and this will increase the cumulative value by 1. So what I mean is that there's a false count on the counter. What happens is that the button, no matter how fast you press the button, is still slower than PLC scan, right? We talk about the scan so many times, right? So what happens is here, when the scan of the dumb bit is on, when it increases to 2, the dumb bit will be true, and that will reset the counter, right? So then PLC will go back to scan your logic again. So when that happens, your PB is still pressed, and then that will count as a trigger to increase the counter into 1. So that's why you can see the accumulated value stay on 1 all the time. The PL is on all the time because this is true all the time, right? No matter how many times you press, you can see here, even I hold it, right, it doesn't work on that. So this is something, if you understand this is something that when PB trigger once, and then especially on the second time, not only it increase 2, also reset, and then when the PLC scan come back, it will use the button trigger the counter again by a false count. So that's why now if you're thinking, oh, I know how to solve it, we need to add a one shot. That means right, you are on the right track, right? So next routine solution you can see on here. It's exactly same as the first version on here. The only difference is that we add one shot. So in this way, the PB only being effective only for one scan. So for the second time, when after you reset the counter, it will not trigger the counter again. Let's try it. Let's try again. All right. So now you can see it's calling the 14. Right. So now I will change to CNT ONS. CNT ONS, that should call the next subroutine. So if you want to make sure, right, so right now it's 15. 15 is calling the routine 15. Routine 15 is this one. 14 is the previous one. All right. So right now the right hand side is running. All right. So right now let's see here. Continue from here. PL is on. So when I press, it's off now. Right, let's count start. So now we see that go back to 0 and PL is off, right? So if I press and hold, same thing, only increase to 1, all right? Then when I release, PL is on. Then when I press and hold it, now you see the accumulate change to 0, because the one shot is like a filter to block the PB to trigger the counter for the second time, or only trigger for the first scan, right? So now it's off. So now I'm going to try to press the button quickly, right? No matter, like I said, no matter how quickly you press the button, you still need the one shot to filter the scan. Otherwise, it won't work, right? So quickly, 1, turn on, 1, turn off. Press on, press off, press on, press off, right? So this is one thing we get familiar with the counter instruction, and also double integer instruction, right? And also reset. and in the same time we can find out another application with one shot. So this one shot, we put one shot over here. You understand the reason behind it, right? It's not because the counter doesn't have the one shot function built in. It has, but now we want to use one shot to guarantee that it won't be affected by the reset, because you then automatically reset the counter, right? Okay.